You know those little upvote arrows on Reddit? Well, they're way more than just internet points. They're actually a kind of currency in this whole hidden economy. So today, we're going to pull back the curtain and look at the secret blueprints for karma farming, and this is coming straight from the people who've basically perfected it. So this whole thing really kicks off with a discovery by a forum user named Gnews. See, they figured out that those, imaginary karma points on Reddit, they actually have real-world value. Turns out there's a whole market out there where people are buying and selling influential accounts. It's wild. They're literally turning online reputation into cash. Okay, so how does an economy like this even work? What's it all built on? Well, it all comes down to one single, super powerful metric that a lot of people don't quite get: Reddit karma. All right, so if you're not a big Reddit user, here's the quick and dirty. Karma is basically its social currency. When people upvote your stuff, your score goes up. When they downvote you, it goes down. Simple, right? It's just a way to measure your reputation in the community. But as you'll see, having a high score can be way more powerful than you'd think. Okay, so if karma is a currency, how do you actually get more of it? How do you earn it? Well, this is where it gets interesting. Gnews, the original poster, doesn't just say, hey, this market exists. Nope. They lay out a complete, super low-effort blueprint that pretty much anyone can follow. And this method, it's incredibly systematic. It's a real step-by-step process. So step 1, you create an account, but you have to wait 2 days before posting any images. That's to get around all those new user filters. Then you start targeting very specific communities, like subreddits dedicated to celebrities. Now here's the trick. With every photo, you drop a simple, relevant comment. Why? Because that way you're farming both post karma and comment karma at the exact same time. It's a 2-for-1 deal. You sprinkle in a few easy text posts, and before you know it, your account's karma score just starts to shoot up. And get this, Gnews even gives you a map of the best farming grounds, the best places to do this. You start to notice a pattern here, right? The celebrity fan subreddits, they're often not as strictly moderated, which makes them super easy targets for just dropping photos. And for text posts, it's all about hitting those massive, high-traffic forums like r/AskReddit, places where a simple one-liner can literally get you thousands of upvotes overnight. All right, I know what you're thinking. This sounds like a ton of work for, what, imaginary internet points? So why on earth would anyone do this? What is the real value? And more importantly, why would someone pay actual, real money for an account with a high karma score? Well, it turns out we're not alone. Another user in the forum asked that exact same question. What's the real difference between having, say, 1,000 karma versus 20,000 karma? Does it even matter? And according to Gnews, the difference is absolutely huge. Think of a high karma score as a VIP pass for Reddit. You can post in more places, and people just take your posts more seriously. They're less likely to question you. But here's the real kicker, the thing that makes this a business. Gnews claims that posts from these power accounts get indexed by Google way faster. So suddenly, we're not just talking about status on Reddit anymore. We're talking about real-world influence and having a serious digital reach. But that first method, the celebrity photo thing, that's just the tip of the iceberg. Because as the discussion goes on, other users start chiming in with their own secrets. And these techniques, well, they're a lot more controversial. And honestly, a lot lazier. This next trick is, it's just unbelievably simple. It's almost genius in its laziness. Forget about finding new photos or thinking up clever comments. One user says the ultimate secret is this. You go to a huge subreddit, you sort by top of all time, you find the #1 post, and you just post it again. Yeah, that's it. And they swear it'll hit the front page pretty much every single time. Okay, but what happens when Reddit's bots catch you? They have systems to detect duplicate images, right? Well, there's a workaround for that, too. You just flip the image vertically. That's it. And apparently that one tiny change is often enough to completely fool the filters. It's this constant cat and mouse game being played between the karma farmers and the platform itself. But, of course, a trick that easy isn't going to be foolproof forever. The original poster, Gnews, actually jumps back into the conversation to warn people that, hey, moderators and bots have gotten a lot smarter over the years. He says that if you try this, especially with a brand new account, it's a super fast way to just get your stuff blocked immediately. So this whole debate over the best farming tactics, it pretty quickly spirals into a much, much bigger argument about Reddit as a whole. The question becomes, Is this platform a goldmine for information and community, or is it just a digital wasteland? And wow, the opinions could not be more different. We're talking polar opposites here. On one side, you have people who see Reddit as an absolute goldmine, a place where you can learn anything and build real influence. And then on the other side, you have people calling it a shithole, saying karma is totally useless and that it's a place you should avoid at all costs. The contrast is just, wow. And yeah, the critics, they really don't hold back. They paint this picture of Reddit as this totally draining pit of negativity, endless arguments, and some really disturbing content. One user even points to all the discussions about depression and loneliness on the site, and their conclusion is that the platform just attracts the worst kind of people. But then, just when it seems like it's all doom and gloom, another user named Splendid Dog chimes in with a much more balanced take. They basically say, yeah, a lot of those criticisms are true to an extent, but they argue that your experience on Reddit is completely shaped by where you choose to go. Like they put it, the key is just knowing where to see. You can find gold, but you have to know where to dig. So think about this. We started with what was basically a how-to guide for gaming a system, right? And we ended up in this huge debate over the very soul of one of the internet's biggest platforms. And it all kind of boils down to this one big question. When imaginary internet points can be farmed like a crop and then sold for cold, hard cash, what does that tell us about how we define value and reputation and even influence in our digital lives?